Hello, and thank you for joining. This video will cover Facility and Administrative Costs, or F&A, also called overhead, but more commonly called Indirect Costs, or IDC. The university is a business, and just like any business, there are standard operating costs. Funding agencies want to fund expenses that directly are associated with the programs, such as travel, equipment, program and supplies, but recognize that it takes individuals to run programs. Therefore, will cover the salaries of the key personnel with duties specific to the implementation of the program. But they also allocate a specific amount for other costs, such as facilities, administrative, or overhead. These costs of doing business typically include maintenance, utilities, and research administration, as they are common expenses that can't be allocated to a specific project. The university has negotiated an established IDC rate that it includes on grants to help cover these costs. For campus-based research, it's 40%. For instruction or designing curriculum, it's 45%. For other sponsored activities like contracts, it's 37%. And for projects administered off campus, because the university resources are not being depleted, it's 26%. It is very important for faculty to understand IDC, how it's calculated, its purpose, use, and how it's allocated and distributed. Let's look at this visually. If the sponsor states that the IDC is exclusive, then the IDC is calculated by multiplying the IDC rate by the total personnel plus program costs. Let's use numbers to make it crystal clear. If the sponsor says the IDC is inclusive, that means the IDC must be included in the total budget amount. That means if the maximum amount the PI can apply for is $500,000, then the IDC rate must be taken from the total program costs, which then reduces the amount allocated to personnel and programs. That's how IDC is calculated. Let's talk about how it's allocated and distributed. But remember, CSUF is one of the lowest funded institutions in the CSU system. A portion of funds from IDC is used to help fill funding gaps. One of those gaps is research. Staff knowledgeable of state, federal, and CSU policies and procedures who manage research across the campus. These positions are not specifically identified with a particular project, but are necessary in order to ensure compliance of funder-sponsored research. Let's take a look at the actual breakdown of how the IDC is allocated. 85% of the IDC funds go to ASC. 7.5% goes to the college. And 7.5% goes to the department. Again, let's use numbers to help you get a visual of how IDC is allocated. If the project award is $700,000, 15% of the $200,000 IDC goes to the college. Of that, 7.5% goes to the college and 7.5% goes to the department. It is important that faculty understand that IDC is not a slush fund. These funds are used to supplement operating expenses. Lastly, IDC is not dispersed in a lump sum. Rather, it is dispersed monthly over the term of the grant. Here's another visual. The 3-year award yields an annual IDC rate of $586.31, which is then dispersed monthly in equal increments to the department and then to the college. I hope this explains how IDC rates are calculated, allocated, and dispersed. All right, that's it for IDC. Let's quickly recap what faculty should consider when considering IDC rates. IDC rates are pre-negotiated. Unless specifically stated by the sponsor, the negotiated rate for IDC will be applied based on where the research is administered. IDC is not a slush fund. Faculty do not have access to IDC funds, only the actual program funds. IDC goes to cover costs to run and administer the university. As the lowest funded CSU, IDC helps to fill funding gaps and ensure support services are maintained. Be sure to watch additional videos that explain research in the college, the grant submission process, and resources provided to support faculty engage in meaningful research. Also visit the resource page on the College of Education's site for forms, templates, and a list of policies faculty should be aware of prior to applying for extramural funding. Lastly, visit the university's Research Gateway for more information on research, policies and procedures, events, and support resources. Thank you for joining.